Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. The story of motorcycles is often told in terms of heritage and tradition, but every once in a while a machine comes along that is so radically different, so uncompromising in design and engineering, that it defies all conventions. The Honda Rune was one of those motorcycles when it first shocked the world in the early 2000s, a factory custom cruiser that looked like it had rolled straight out of a futuristic concept art sketch. It was bold, polarizing, and ahead of its time, and though it had a relatively short production run, it has lived on in legend among collectors and motorcycle enthusiasts. Now, in 2025, Honda has brought back the Rune, not just as a revival of a cult classic, but as a complete reimagining of what a modern cruiser can be. This isn't just a motorcycle. It's a statement. Today, we're diving deep into the new 2025 Honda Rune, exploring its features, design, performance, and the unique character that makes it stand out in today's motorcycle landscape. When you first see the 2025 Rune in person, it feels less like a machine and more like a sculpted piece of rolling art. Honda has doubled down on the Rune's reputation as an avant-garde cruiser, keeping the muscular, stretched proportions but refining the lines for a sleeker, more futuristic appeal. The long, low silhouette is immediately recognizable, with a raked-out front end, massive presence, and the kind of attention to detail you normally associate with custom show bikes rather than mass-produced motorcycles. The chrome accents return, but in 2025 they're more subdued, balanced with blacked-out finishes and brushed aluminum surfaces that give the Rune a modern industrial edge. The front suspension remains one of its signature highlights, using an advanced trailing link system that looks like something you'd find on a concept bike rather than a production machine. Honda has evolved it further, improving handling and stability while keeping the Rune's unmistakable visual identity intact. Underneath all that eye-catching bodywork lies a heart that is just as bold. The 2025 Rune comes equipped with a reworked version of Honda's iconic flat-six engine, derived from the Goldwing but tuned specifically for this cruiser. The displacement sits at 1,834 cubic centimeters, delivering around 135 horsepower and a wave of torque that feels bottomless. What makes this engine so special isn't just the raw numbers, but the way it delivers its power, smooth, effortless, and refined, yet with enough punch to remind you this isn't just a piece of rolling artwork. Paired with Honda's latest 6-speed transmission and optional DCT automatic system, the Rune offers a blend of brute force and modern convenience. You can cruise at low speeds with silky precision, or roll on the throttle and feel an immediate surge of acceleration that belies the bike's massive size. Honda has always prided itself on refinement, and the Rune takes that philosophy to extremes. Ride-by-wire throttle, multiple riding modes, traction control, and cornering ABS all come standard. The Rune also gets Honda's selectable torque control and a linked braking system that balances stopping power across both wheels. Despite its weight tipping the scales at over 800 pounds, the Rune feels surprisingly agile thanks to a low center of gravity and that advanced front suspension design. On the open road, it glides with a planted, almost luxurious confidence. In the city, it turns heads at every corner while remaining surprisingly manageable for a bike of this size. Comfort was another area where Honda refused to compromise. The Rune may look radical, but it's built for long-haul riding just as much as for boulevard posing. The seat is sculpted for all-day comfort, with premium leather and subtle heating elements built in. The ergonomics are relaxed, with forward-set foot controls and wide handlebars that give you a commanding riding position without straining your back. For passengers, Honda has integrated a detachable pillion seat that can be swapped out for a sleeker solo configuration, allowing riders to choose between pure style or practical two-up cruising. Suspension travel has been increased slightly over the previous Rune, smoothing out rough pavement and making highway miles more enjoyable. Technology is another area where the 2025 Rune takes a big leap forward. The bike comes with a fully digital TFT display that integrates navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, and real-time telemetry. Riders can pair their smartphone to access music, calls, and even voice-controlled features via Honda's Ride Assist system. A premium audio package is also available, complete with hidden speakers that don't detract from the Rune's flowing design. Keyless ignition, adaptive LED lighting, and a suite of rider aids bring the Rune firmly into the modern era, ensuring that it isn't just a throwback to the past but a true 2025 machine. One of the most unique selling points of the Rune has always been its exclusivity, and Honda is leaning into that heritage. The 2025 Rune is not meant to be a high-volume model. Instead, it's built in limited numbers, with each bike individually numbered and crafted with near-custom attention to detail. Honda has even introduced a bespoke ordering process, allowing buyers to choose from a curated selection of finishes, trim accents, and paint schemes. Options include deep candy reds, pearl whites, midnight blacks, and even two-tone metallics that shift color in different lighting conditions. Each Rune is less a motorcycle you buy off the showroom floor and more a personal statement piece that reflects the individuality of its rider. Price-wise, the Rune is positioned as a premium halo product in Honda's lineup. The base price for the 2025 Rune starts at around $37,000, with fully loaded versions pushing closer to $42,000 depending on customization options. That places it well above most mainstream cruisers, but Honda isn't aiming this bike at the average rider. This is for those who want something truly unique, something that makes a statement every time it rolls down the street. And when you compare it to high-end Harley-Davidsons or custom-built cruisers, the price feels justified given the engineering, technology, and exclusivity on offer. Performance on the road is where the Rune cements its legend. The Flat 6 delivers an incredibly smooth surge of power that feels almost endless, and thanks to refined gearing, the bike cruises at highway speeds with barely a whisper of strain. Passing maneuvers are effortless, and the Rune has no problem keeping up with sportier bikes when the road opens up. Handling is far better than you'd expect from such a large, heavy cruiser, thanks in part to Honda's precision engineering and that advanced suspension setup. The Rune isn't about carving corners like a sport bike, but it holds its line with confidence and delivers a ride that feels more composed than most heavyweight cruisers on the market. Braking performance is equally impressive. Dual 6-piston front calipers paired with floating rotors provide immense stopping power, while electronic aids ensure stability under hard braking. The Rune may be heavy, but it never feels unwieldy when you need to bring it to a halt. Combined with a low seat height that allows most riders to plant their feet firmly on the ground, the Rune feels approachable despite its intimidating size. The exhaust note is another highlight. Honda has tuned the 6-cylinder to produce a deep, resonant growl that's unmistakably different from V-twin cruisers. It's smooth, refined, but with just enough edge to remind you that you're sitting on a high-performance machine. And unlike some overly loud customs, the Rune's exhaust note is rich without being obnoxious, fitting perfectly with its image as a refined, futuristic powerhouse. For collectors and enthusiasts, the Rune's appeal goes beyond performance or even aesthetics. It represents Honda's willingness to take risks and push the boundaries of design. In a market often dominated by retro styling or cookie-cutter cruisers, the Rune stands apart as something truly original. This has been Bike Culture Hub, and thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of the new Rune. If you love motorcycles that push boundaries, that dare to be different, and that leave a mark not just on the road but on the imagination, then the Rune is a bike you need to experience. Until next time, ride safe, ride free, and keep celebrating the machines that make our culture so unique.